All right, welcome to this platform. This is the Mentor Hamper Kliman. Today we shall be looking at Principles of Accounts Paper 1. So I will try by all means to ensure that I make this particular lesson easy, especially for revision. And of course, some other questions will be simple and straightforward, and we'll just need to go through like that. But I would encourage you that you get to know the questions properly, because most of the questions are repeated. Now, of course, if you want to register for personal lessons, either in biology, physics, chemistry, mathematics, make sure you inbox me on this particular number, which is a +2 6 0 7 66 40 46, and I'll be able to respond to you. Okay, so we start our session. Let me just get my pen properly and also rub my board. Now, this paper is actually 1 hour and it carried about 40 marks. So this 40 marks is supposed to be for you. The first question says, which of the following is a job opportunity for someone who has studied accounts? So there's accounts clerk, chief accountant, executive officer, finance manager, office orderly. Of course, so for a person who has studied accounts, that person can become an accounts clerk, that person can become a chief accountant, and at the same time, that person can become a finance manager. An office orderly can't become an accountant, because office orderlies just work within the office and eventually ensure that everything is really done in particular. So that is something that really you need to understand. So of course, our answer is basically going to be A. We go to the second question, which is saying the accounting concept which states that capital contributed by the owner is a liability to the business is dash concept. Okay, so this one is actually known as a contingent concept. Contingent concept. A car bought and paid for by cash after 2 weeks of the purchase agreement is a good example of dash transaction. Okay, a car bought and paid for by cash after 2 weeks of the purchase agreement is a good example of dash transaction. So of course, this is a very good example of a credit, okay, transaction, credit transaction. We go to question 4. Dash is an example of a business transaction. Dash is an example of a business transaction. Okay, A, buying of office equipment. B, giving a report on business performance. No, by far. C, hosting a meeting of a business. By far. D, listening to. Okay, so the rest aren't making sense, because a business transaction involves you buying and getting something. There has to be an exchange in particular, and that is why your answer is going to be A. This one was very simple. The source document for the petty cash book is there. The source document for the petty cash book is there. A, credit note voucher. B, invoice. C, journal. D, petty cash voucher. Okay, so for the petty cash book, the source document is actually your petty cash voucher. Okay, this question is very important that you take note of. It is actually repeated in most questions. I think I've seen it in most of the past papers. Make sure you take into consideration of that. Question 6. The returns outward journal is used to record goods. The returns outward journal is used to record goods. A, bought on credit from suppliers. B, returned by us to suppliers. C, returned to us by customers. Sold on credit to customers. So the returns outward journal is actually used to record goods that are returned to us by suppliers. Goods returned to us by suppliers. Okay. Karipinde bought machinery by check from Office Machines Limited, the correct double entry would be Karipinde bought machinery by check from Office Machines Limited. The correct double entry would be, so Karipinde bought machinery by check from Office Machines Limited. The correct double entry would be, okay, so let me see, machinery account, then credit bank account, machinery account, credit Office Machine Limited, Office Machines, credit bank account, D Office Machines. Okay, so, okay, basically for this particular question, the best answer is A. Okay, so the machinery account would actually, okay, credit the bank account. Okay, so that is actually your best answer. Why? Because this particular company, you are buying something by check. Okay, you're buying something by check. The company is giving you something. So of course, you know, you're supposed to credit your bank account. Your machinery account should be able to credit you your bank account. Okay. Motor vehicles and office equipment accounts are normally referred to as dash accounts. Motor vehicles and office accounts are normally referred to as. Okay, so the best answer for question 8 is simply real accounts. We go to number 9. A written record of all transactions that a business has are completed in a book known as a written record of all transactions that a business has are completed in a book known as okay, so the best answer is simply D, a ledger. A ledger. In which ledger are the accounts of credit suppliers kept? In which ledger are the accounts of credit suppliers kept? Payables. Okay. One of the reasons for extracting a trial balance is, okay, simple. It is simply to ascertain the correctness of double entry. Okay. This one is very simple because you already know a trial balance contains your debit, your credit balances. Of course, you must be able to enter your transactions properly in both of the accounts, and then it must be able to balance. If it doesn't balance, you might have made a mistake. The following trial balance was drafted by an experienced bookkeeper. Redraft the trial balance and calculate the correct total amounts. Okay, so let's check details. We have debit, then we have credit. So we're going to start with sales. Okay, so debit the giver, credit the receiver. Okay, let me check which one is the receiver, which one is the giver. Okay, debit the receiver, credit the giver. Please, you must be able to remember these accounts theories, especially to those of you that really want to become accountants. This is very much important that you understand. Okay. Now, sales, you are selling something, but it's coming into the business, so you credit them. So sales are going to come here. Okay, so you are going to get your sales. You come to your purchases. Okay, purchases, you are releasing money out from your business, you are receiving something. Okay, so in other words, you are giving out money from the business, so you have to debit it. So money is leaving the business, debit. Okay. Cash. So of course, cash is supposed to be debited. Bank is also supposed to be debited. Returns outwards. Returns outwards. So returns outwards is supposed to be credited. Is this thing going to balance? Capital. Okay, so capital is an equity, so of course it's supposed to be credited as well. Let's see. Okay, returns outwards usually credit them because they usually reduce expenses from the business. So when you add everything, let's see what we're going to have. If we have 10,000 plus 6,000 plus 4,000 plus 2,000 plus, let me see, okay, sorry, 16,000 plus 4,000. Okay, so just considering these in red, let's see where we made corrections. Plus 4,000 plus 2,000. Okay, so here I'm getting a 16 pin or a 16,000. Let me check here. So here, what did we remove? Okay, here we corrected, so this is not supposed to be here. Down there we have a 5,000. Here we said it's okay. Okay, the rest are okay. These are okay. So 4,000 plus 2,000 is 6,000. So plus 6,000, 16 pin. So even here 16 pin. So it's balancing at this point. Okay, see, it was already found. They already found the answer. Okay, so C is actually the answer for this particular question. We go to 13. Trade expenses that help to turn goods bought into bought into sellable condition are dash account. Trade expenses that help to return goods bought into sellable condition are dash accounts. Okay, so debited to the trading. So the best answer is actually B. We got to question 14. Which one of the following should be charged to the profit and loss account? Which one of the following should be charged to the profit and loss account? A, direct materials. B, indirect materials. C, office decoration. D, office equipment. So the best answer is C, which is the office decoration. From the following figures, calculate the working capital. From the following figures, calculate the working capital. Okay, so for this particular question, your working capital, so working capital is equal to current assets. It's been long since I did accounts. I love teaching accounts. It is a beautiful subject and commerce. So working capital is actually equal to your current assets, of course, minus your liabilities. So of course you just have to take note of your assets. I mean your current assets. Okay, current assets, not non-current assets. There are current assets, non-current assets. So your current assets, in this case, you have your, let me check, this one is a current asset. Which other one? Okay, this one is a current asset. This one is also current asset. So you would get your inventory. Make sure you get your inventory, you get your insurance, get your bank, add whatever you're going to get. Then you got your liabilities. Let me see, liabilities. Of course, trade payables are liabilities. Let me see which other one. No, these are non-current assets. Let me see, rent owing, of course, rent owing. So rent owing and trade payables. So you would put them here. Okay, so you get your rent payables. You also get your trade payables. Add them, see whatever you're going to get. Okay, so you use this formula that I've given you, just subtract, you see what you're going to get. Okay, so you give me the answer there. At the end of the financial year, bad debts recovered are treated as A, a current asset, B, a current liability, C, an expense, D, an income. At the end of the financial year, bad debts recovered are treated as, okay, so for 16, D. We got to 17. A credit balance on the rent account after the transfer to profit and loss account indicates a credit balance on the rent account after the transfer to profit and loss account indicates, okay, this one is simple. It's simply a liability and an accrual. Question 18. William purchased a motor van at, okay, let's see, the price was 120,000. The annual depreciation was rate of 20%. Using the fixed installment method, calculate the net book value of the asset after 2 years. This is beautiful. So let me do this. You get your 20%. You say over 100. Then you multiply by 120. I still do remember this. It has to work. Okay. So this is going to be 0.2 multiplied by 120,000 is equal to, let me check, 0.2 multiplied by 120,000. Okay, I'm getting something like a 24,000. And then this 24,000, they're saying calculate the net book value of the asset after 2 years. So we say 24,000 multiplied by the 2, we are going to get 48,000. Then this 48,000 minus what you bought the motor vehicle. The amount of money used to buy your motor vehicle. Let's see. So 48 pin minus 1. Okay, let me see. Let me see properly. We're saying 0.2 multiplied by 120, 123, getting 24,000 multiplied by 2, 48, 120,000 minus 48. Okay. So you get your 120,000 minus 48,000. Whatever you're going to get is your value. Okay. So basically, just make sure you find the percentage of this. Whatever you get, multiply by what you have been given, the number of years. Okay. Whatever years have been given, that's how you make this one simple. Okay. So this question is also much more repeated, especially in most past papers. You check them out. Okay, we go to question number 19. Mazembe Limited paid 5,400 cash for rent. The rent account was credited and cash was debited. What type of error occurred? So error of complete reversal. 20. Which of the following errors would not affect the balancing of a trial balance? Okay, which of the following errors would not affect the balancing of a trial balance? Okay, so A, undercast in one account, B, posted to the wrong side of the account, C, overcast in one account, D, omitted entirely from the books. Okay, which of the following errors would not affect the balancing of a trial balance? Okay, so the best answer would actually be D. Okay, omitted entirely from the books. Okay, so this question you will do it. This one is going to be homework. Okay, so one of the reasons for preparing a revised cash book is to record. Okay, very good. This one is very simple. In the bank reconciliation statement, the unpresented checks mean that the checks have dash by the bank. Okay? They have not been debited by the bank. So, like I said, most of the questions are actually repeated. So make sure that you just master them, okay? Know them. Those that you know them. Those that you can master them, okay? In the purchases ledger control account, transport charges on goods bought is dash account, okay? So we're on 24. In the purchases ledger control account, transport charges on goods bought is dash account. So the best answer is simply A, added to the purchases. Okay. The total amount received from debtors is dash account. Okay. The total amount received from debtors is dash account. So the total amount received from debtors is, let me see, credited to the purchase ledger account, credited to the sales ledger account, debited to the purchase ledger account, debited to the sales ledger account. Okay, so the best answer is actually B. Okay, the total amount received from debtors is credited, okay, to the sales ledger control account. Question 26, the receipts and payables account is similar to, the receipts and payables account is similar to the cash book. Okay, so this question, same as the question which I gave you, so same concept. Okay. Same concept. A good example of a revenue receipt is, of course, rent from a subtenant. Okay, let's see question 29. Which of the following would be classified as a revenue expenditure? Which of the following would be classified as a revenue expenditure? A, buying a new building. B, buying a new car. C, painting a new building. D, painting an old building. Which of the following would be classified as a revenue expenditure? Of course, it's painting an old building, so D. Which item is not considered when ascertaining the missing figure for purchases under incomplete records? Which item is not considered when ascertaining the missing figure for purchases under incomplete records? A, closing balances, no. B, opening balances or surplus, no. C, payables to surplus, no. Okay, so these are not Becky says. I would go with D. Okay, I would go with D, receipts from customers. Okay. In single entry records, the statement of affairs is prepared at the beginning of the accounting period in order to calculate the opening capital. In a partnership, salaries for partners are credited to their current accounts to increase their. In a partnership, salaries for partners are credited to their current accounts to increase their net worth. I know someone would answer this. All right. In the absence of a partnership agreement, partners are entitled to. In the absence of a partnership agreement, partners are entitled to. So A, commission. B, interest of capital. C, salaries. D, share of profit. The best answer is simply, you got it correct, interest on capital. We go to 34. The total of direct costs is called dash cost. The total of direct costs is called dash. Come on. Well known, it's a prime cost. How is the production cost calculated in the manufacturing account? How is the production cost calculated in the manufacturing account? So it is simply your prime cost plus your factory overhead expenses. Prime cost plus your factory overhead expenses. Or you can simply say your PC your PC plus your F. Okay? primary cost, the prime cost plus your factory overhead expenses. This is how I used to remember it. Okay, we go to the next segment. Given the following, we have stock of raw materials. Okay, they've given you this debt, stock of raw materials, given this debt, purchase of raw materials, given this debt, carriage on raw materials, they give you this debt. Then they say calculate the cost of raw materials consumed. Okay, let me give you a formula. So the cost of raw materials, make sure you know this formula. Cost of raw materials is going to equal to, so you say you consumed, okay, sorry, I bet now get it dirty. So let me just use abbreviation. So cost, okay, cost of raw materials is going to equal to your opening stock of course plus your purchases plus your carriage inwards and of course you close your stock, so minus your closing stock. So I just want you to now fill in whatever you have in this formula, and then you'll get your answer. The accounting practices of a firm that adhere to a consistent set of principles is known as. The accounting practices of a firm that adhere to a consistent set of principles is known as. Okay, so pause this video and I want you to answer question 37. Well, the best answer is simply D, your integrity. Non-adherence to ethics in accountancy results in being. Non-adherence to ethics in accountants results in being A, deregistered and out of practice, B, given free certificate of compliance, C, registered with an accounting association, D, rejected by audit association. You will be deregistered, okay, and you'll be out of practice because they can't trust you anymore. You have no manners, okay, so of course it's A. Markup is the gross profits relationship with. Markup is the gross profits relationship with cost of goods. Which of the following formula is used to calculate inventory turnover? Which of the following formula is used to calculate inventory turnover? Pause this video and help find this question. I want to see if at all you know what we are doing. Well, the best answer is actually cost of sales over average inventory, okay, which happens to be A. So this is your revision paper for multiple choice questions in GCE and the principles of accounts. If you found this video interesting and helpful, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and of course share to others. Thank you so much.